everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Kaze-Kan Podcast. It's been a while. I don't know if you heard this, but the area where we got, and even in the mid U.S., is dealing with a lot of cold weather. So hope you're staying warm. Hope you got power. Hopefully, if anything happened to your water, hopefully that gets fixed soon. The area where I live, had a boil water alert. But it got lifted. We have power now. It was pretty hectic.
Yield power generator. What would we do without you?
Yeah, you see, we have a generator, but we don't have it we didn't have it with us at the time because it was at our grandparents' house. But you know what? It's fine. Because like I said, honestly, it was really surprising that our house did not lose power until like we were like the last person to lose power because there like a lot of people who usually have power most of the time their powers went out before ours, and our house, the power goes out even on a heavy rainstorm, you know. So it took like our pipes were fine, and it wasn't like the power was out for like a whole day, like some people, or even a week for some people. Ours just went out and it came back on like a few hours later, which is actually, not that bad, all things considering. But I just consider myself, our family members, everybody's doing fine. Uh, no water damage from the snow. So we got pretty lucky. I know there's a lot of people out there who didn't get or so lucky as us, but glad to have that. And on top of that, the funniest thing, um, I was at my aunt's house when the direct was happening, and we were uh, we were there because the power wasn't there at my house, but they had power, and we were watching the direct. Or I've just seen it. I didn't watch the whole direct. I just know that we'll get to it in a bit. We're gonna get to, but when the direct happened and all the announcements happened, the power went out. So I just found that kind of funny. By the time we woke up and everything the next day, the power was back on in their house in the neighborhood. So, um, but I didn't get the leisure of seeing too much details and everything, because I'm stuck with T-Mobile, and it's cheap, but it's really hard. Like I can't get service anywhere with T-Mobile. Just it's it's awful. Like if the Wi-Fi goes down in my house, I can't do anything. I can't do YouTube. I can't do Twitter. I can't check for anything because the internet is so slow. Because it's like T-Mobile's just awful on as a mobile provider. And I'm getting off topic. I was just it was just that's what's been going on. Other than that, video game news has been coming out. Recently, Yuffie was announced for the Final Fantasy remake expansion for the PS5 upgrade or whatnot and all that jazz.
Oh
Um,
yay! The person I didn't care about back then is coming back for the PlayStation 4 game. I am hype. Well, not really.
uh, Guilty Gear
But
Strive,
hey, at least they got like 60 frames going.
yeah,
So
Guilty Gear Strive had a beta that I did not participate in. Um,
yeah, it was all right.
I wanted to get back into fighting games. Um, I bought Street Fighter 5 Championship Edition because I I'm gonna start buying most of my games on PC, because despite I have a lot of games on PS4. Um, I don't see myself getting on and playing the games that I do, and I think if I did play any PS4 games, it'd be because I'm streaming them. But I want to play like any fighting games that I'm gonna start getting into. I want to be specifically on PC. And but my biggest issue is that with PC, the online fighting games online are kind of barren. Like I know there's things and all that, but as far as I know, like the one game I wanted to try out just out of sheer curiosity was the Grand Blue game. That's the only one that's like Guilty Gear had a sale, like their games were like discounted on Steam, but I didn't get a hold of any because I was like, I'll wait, because I know those go on sale. But Grand Blue didn't like Grand Blue was on sale during the lunar year, but it was like $40, and I was like, I'm not spending that much for a game I'm gonna regret if I didn't like it. I know DBZ Fighters is out there. My brother has it. He's been playing that one. But I'm waiting for Strive. I'm gonna play it when it's out because, I mean, my biggest issue with Arc Systems for me is characters that, like, if you have a favorite character and they're not in the starting roster, they're either gonna be DLC or I'm calling it now. Strive is gonna have a second version. Like if they did the same thing with Guilty Gear Rev XR, like I just
That's just how Guilty Gear usually works.
yeah, but I don't know, like that's my but irrelevant. Um, as far as games are, I bought a few new ones, but most of them were like cheap. Oh, good lord, I don't even remember which ones I bought. Uh, um, I haven't played Cyberpunk in the last few days, despite me, defending it. But
Man, I guess with the events that transpired, we're all just exhausted mentally.
oh yeah, oh now I
I mean,
remember.
outside of doing the daily to get by and by, but just outside that, it's just like, oh,
Yeah. Oh, I've been playing. Ironically, I've been playing Hades. I got that one on sale. Um, it's good. It's not for everybody. It's a roguelike, so you're gonna die constantly. But it's also like a loot crate based system in which you get a thing called a boon, and it's a power depending on which Greek god it is. That ability, you get certain abilities, but they're all random. There's three abilities that you get from them that you can choose from, but they're all random. You have weapons as you unlock, and the idea is to keep playing. It's not bad. It's very addicting for me because I'm just like, I just want to beat it at least just once. But no, it has its moments. But
yeah.
I got it on sale, so, and I'm kind of glad I waited. It was exclusive to Epic Game Store, and I guess is a good way to segue. I don't know if people aren't aware. Kingdom Hearts is getting a PC release. Yay! Downside, it's Epic
And
Store
I am
exclusive.
massively hyped for it. Even if it's coming to Epic Game Store, it's like whatever. It's like as long as it's on the PC, I am fine.
Yeah,
Because now I don't have to modify files on the ISO of Kingdom Hearts 2 just to get a mod working, or I don't have to spend hours punching in codes just to get the shit working. I could just pop in the file, add one file, and there you go.
yeah. But the one thing but the reason why I brought up Epic is because it is exclusive to the Epic Store, and which is, I know some people wouldn't think, oh, it's not so bad, like that's, but here's the bad problem: all Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and
Two hundred
2.5,
dollars.
yes, they are sold separately for full price. And I know
But
somebody's out
if
there
you
going
get
to be
them all
like, oh,
together,
well,
it's two
technically
hundred
one's
dollars.
$49.99. It's But still, it's expensive, and I know people in Canada, it's even more expensive. It's like buying a whole new. It's like buying. But it was funny because people were showing links that you could buy the entire collection for the PS4 for $30, all of it, 3, 1.5, and 2.5,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, this is like, people defend Epic, like, because for indie game developers, because, oh well, they get more of the cut. Like, they pay I think it's a where Steam, it's like, oh good lord, Steam takes a bigger cut from the developers when you make money, but on Epic the developers get more. But here's my problem: it's the game has to sell in order for that to even make an impact. So if your game only sells 10 copies, but a year later on Steam it sells 35, like, Was that 10 before that 10 throughout the year worth it? I don't think so. But I mean, the thing is that Epic pays them a huge lump sum to get their games exclusive, you know. So it's like, oh, you get a big sum from Epic, and you get
Yeah,
more of the profit. It sounds good, but if you're anybody who's smart,
it's like I'm
if
having,
if
like I
you
said, because it's out on Epic, it's like, it gets on my nerves, but I'm not gonna get it on the Epic Store. Oh, but come on, you're not supporting. It's like, if I gotta wait for it to be on Steam, I will.
and
Because I've
also
already got like the vanilla games on console, so it's just like I'm not missing out because I already got it.
yeah.
But everyone else is like,
Oh
ah,
no, but another thing is that it's Square Enix. It's like they're not an indie company that needs their money. Square Enix is the company that, despite their games doing well, it doesn't. Their games never sell to their expectations because they think everybody in the world has to buy their copies. Like I remember in the PS3 era, games that I thought were moderately successful were like, oh, they didn't sell quite enough, and it's like, what the hell does that mean? Like Square Enix is like diluted into their numbers, but it's also like they spend so much money with the marketing and everything. It's like no wonder why they need these games to sell. They spend so much money on everything else before the actual game. But like it's Kingdom Hearts. Everybody's played them. I don't think there's anybody out there who hasn't played it that isn't a child. Like if you're an adult
yep.
and you love Kingdom Hearts and you haven't played it yet, I'm generally curious. Everybody played it on the PS2. Kingdom Hearts 2, at least one Kingdom Hearts game. If you love Kingdom Hearts, you played at least one, and chances are you've paid less than full price for every single game.
Yep.
It's like,
For that retire, I paid full price for Kingdom Hearts 3, but that was about it. Like all the other Kingdom Hearts was like, oh yeah, I got used.
yeah, but
Except for the PSP, that was different.
uh, I still think Birth by Sleep is one of the best of the entire franchise. I will take that to my grave. Birth by Sleep is on par. I would rank Birth by Sleep.
It's like I would have said that until they made flow motion and Dream Drop Distance. I was like, yes, this is what I wanted.
Flow
And the
motion,
only thing I
okay.
want, the
Flow
only thing I
motion,
want now is just drive forms. It's like, oh, but the Keyblade transforms. It's like, yeah, I want that, but I want my drive forms too.
yeah, but like flow motion like flow motion is actually broken. Like I think it's
And
fun
that's what makes it
but
fun.
no, but in Dream Drop it works in Dream Drop Distance. In Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't like it. Ugh. It
Yeah,
wa-
because it's not as broken as it was in Dream Drop
yeah, no,
Distance.
it's exploiting it and using Balloon Ga. Balloon Ga's another like it's like, oh my gosh, like I played I
That was like way too strong, especially
no,
when
yeah, no,
you got like the third level
I beat
balloon.
I played Dream Drop Distance on critical, and that's how I got through most of it.
Just spam balloon.
But I think the but going back to like the whole Epic thing, Epic just doesn't have like there's something about Steam and it usually comes from people that who have like either it's journalists, YouTubers, anybody that feels like I feel like anybody that defends Epic, they have money from Epic's pockets. Because if you're doing that for free, if you're defending Epic for free, you're mental. That's insane. Like just from a consumer standpoint, it's like every game like because Steam has the bigger player base, and most people that have Epic, it's usually because chances are they have Epic because of Fortnite, and just
Pretty
because they
much.
Fortnite doesn't mean they have other games. And maybe they get like me. I was like, oh, there's a free game that I'm interested in. Click, get free game, and don't worry about it anymore. And maybe never even play it.
And my main issue with the Epic storefront is like you got before you even get the game, you gotta get the game. Then you gotta open the launcher because if you try to fire the game up, it's like, oh, we don't know what you're doing. So you gotta go through the launcher and then do all that other stuff, configure it, and then go from there. And hopefully, you didn't cause something to bust the game.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, back to the like fighting. Have you ever played that game Yatagarasu Attack on Cataclysm?
Long ass time ago. Like, what about it?
I reinstalled it, and oh my gosh, it's like I know it's funny because like Maximilian's like bring back Ki, but he's like a character in the game. It's like bring back Attack on Cataclysm. Like advertise for a game. This thing needs. Oh, it is just so. People think
It's
fighting games
like,
are not user friendly. No, Yatagarasu's main menu is not user friendly. It doesn't have any like it has gamepad support, but if you if you haven't, it didn't recognize my controller, and you can't change the settings. It was just weird. It doesn't have optimization
mm,
for your full screen and no your screen. It's just I know I'm pretty sure people would say play it in windowed, but I was trying to play it because I was like, man, I feel like playing like because I just wanted to like oil up my fighting game gears. Like I'm rusty. Haven't played a fighting game in years. And I tried picking one up again, and I pick up Yetagarasu. It's like I like the character designs. I'm like, man, why did this go anywhere? It's like, man,
eh. And the only thing that I'm like barely playing now is Smash.
well,
Everything else is like, I might pop in for like time to time, but not really because there isn't much to do outside of fighting online. Here's these costumes. It's like, want a little bit more than that.
yeah. It's just there's like because there's something about like fighting games. Like I wouldn't mind playing them online. I don't really. I'm not the kind of person like rollback. It's like yeah. Look, at the end of the day, yes, fighting games do need somewhat of a proper like fix on it because there's just certain reactions that you can't do online. But that's why most fighting game fans who are aware of that don't really care. They don't because most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you're playing it face to face next to somebody at a convention, at a meetup or something
Have a good time and all that.
and that's what
Uh,
that's what makes the FGC. That's I mean, doing everything online it takes away that magic. There's just something about getting together, even if you don't know the
Not
people.
according to Max. It has to have robot net play.
Yeah, but it doesn't like the well, regardless of whatever the Japanese devs are doing, I think the biggest thing is that it's just I don't know. This is more on like on your take on this, but me personally, I'm just like, look, I don't mind playing fighting games online, but it's just nah. And
Well, but the thing is what a bunch of newer people and or people who like follow behind Max, they think that pretty much playing online is the norm and like yesteryear there was no such thing. You play the game with someone else or you didn't have anyone to play with. And apparently online skill transfers into offline skill, which that's not the case. It's the other way around. I because when it comes to online, if they were to get bodied, then the first thing they can lean back to is just say, well, it was the lag, or something was going wrong with the connection or something, or well, it doesn't have robot net play, so that's why you beat me. No, you just got bodied.
yeah, and it's funny because I don't know. I really want to meet the
I mean,
it's
I've
weird.
heard every excuse up to this point. It's like, well, the controller's messed up, so well, my control's not messed up. It's just this connection, or the most silliest stuff. I couldn't win because I didn't pick the right color, or you only won because you used an arcade stick. And I was like, dude, don't even know that I'm purposely gimping myself using the arcade stick because I'm actually a para player.
Yeah, I do like I do want to use a stick, but I don't like. I think I would only use a stick if I had my own custom one. My brother has we have the PS4, PS3 Hori fight pad. Um, but no, I just
Because I use it at tournaments and all that, but I like the feel of the arcade stick because it's more nostalgic to how it was when we didn't have as many fighting games, and our only hope was either going to the laundromat or if we were lucky enough to go to the mall. No, that's the only reason why I use arcade stick now. But even then, I don't. If I were to just actually go in, I wouldn't use that as a peripheral choice to school someone.
yeah. It's but I just off the let's I'll go a little off topic, but it's just weird that I just saw Maximilian retweet a thing about uh gatekeeping, and it's just like it's that scene from I don't know if you ever watched the Eric Andre show where it's just like
How could he talk about gatekeeping when he the main one to where if it ain't the games I want, I'm not gonna talk about it, and you gotta respect the fact that I don't want to play
yeah,
it,
hold on.
but I should drop everything I'm doing to play what you want to play. Nah.
Like do you have you ever seen that Eric Andre where he shoots Hannibal?
Mm, shoot, I stopped watching Adult Swim a long time ago.
Okay, well, for context, Eric is talking in the microphone and he shoots his co-host and he looks back to the camera and he's like, "Who killed Hannibal?" So like
Hmm.
people use it as like a meme where like Nintendo and then it shows old IPs like F-Zero and it's Nintendo shooting it. It's like, how come nobody's uh these franchises who killed our franchises? It's like you did. You know, kind of like the thing.
Mhm.
But so the meme that he retweeted recently, right, like just right as of now, I know I'm dating it. Not he didn't do it right this second, but it was just like old, like veterans, new players, and it's like gay, like shooting and new players. And it's like our community is dying. And it's just like, huh? And it's just like I don't know if I don't
Or it
know.
sounds like he wants the community to die at that point because I've heard it time and time again. The community's dying. We gotta do esports. We gotta do all this to be viable. It's like we didn't start off that way, and it wasn't intended to be that way. It was
Yeah,
just intended to be like a hobby between people who play video games and who are enthusiasts to where I'm the best in this game. No, I'm the best. Okay, $20 says I'm the best. First to 10, and just go on from that. And then it got to the point to where it's like, well, I'm the best of the West. I'm the best of the East, and so on. And everyone come together, and whoever won the big tournament was the old goat. And that's how it was.
yeah.
But now it's just esports. Esports, you gotta get the sponsorships. You gotta look professional. Da, 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 da. It's like, yeah, because that's how everything is, which I say sarcastically, but yeah.
It's weird because I for me like I think we're kind of a good example of I liked playing fighting games growing up, but I always played them. I always played against the computer because before online fighting, you just play against the computer in arcade mode. Um, I didn't really the only time I actually started playing against people was in college, and that's actually where me and Mug met. And it was I you,
Yeah. I mean, I've been in for a while, but then I can hear people like, "Oh, well, I never seen you." Da 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 da. It's like there's a bunch of people that
you
that
don't
don't appear on stream
you don't
that
have to
you'd
be
be surprised.
which is if it's funny because you can say you've been part of a community forever, but I know like it's word of mouth, but like like
But at the same time, your age is only going to show depending on how you hold yourself and how you play your games.
yeah, because
Because it doesn't matter if it's like a new game or something. Because sometimes I'll be having like young people get mad at me because I remember what young cat was like trying to stage me and be all like, "Oh, you don't want to play it because it doesn't have any characters that throws fireballs out. That's why you don't want to play the game." I was like, "What?" Okay, I'll play the game, but I hope you know that you fighting me, you're not fighting a person who's just looked at a couple of videos and studied like two combos and tries to use those two combos. Like, no, I've been around for a long ass time. It's like, and it's like I played a bunch of stuff, good and bad. And because who remembers like brutal Pulse of Fury? Anyone? Primal Rage, Clay Fighter.
I just
Shoot.
but for
Or
me,
if I'm dating myself, stuff even more Hero no Kin. But what were you about to say?
because but my prime example was I think people what happens is that people when you try to be in a community like if you think the F like if you think Maximilian is the FGC, it's like I don't think you like online matches are one thing. I know I've seen people get more heated and send messages, and usually toxicity spawns from the fact that you're not face to face. I know has been some salty moments where people actually fight or get mad in and all
That
that,
is
but
rare,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah.
It's a one in a million, and a lot of stuff usually is taken out of context. Like I remember there's a popular YouTuber, and he made a video called the Fighting Game Community, and it was kind of weird because in the video that it kind of that one time where Low Tier God had a beef with some other guy, it made it seem like Low Tier like God was the good guy because he's like, first of all, this is just a video game. It's like what?
Well, that's the thing with low tier god. It's a weird thing that's going on in the community to where you have a minority of people that are trying to be the cool kids, but when they try to be the cool kids, they fall on their face because video games aren't for cool kids. Video games are for nerds.
Yeah, that's
So the more you try to rationalize and say this is some serious stuff and all that, the more you come off as a dork.
yeah. I just find it
Speaking from
funny.
experience.
Yeah, I just find it funny that every time gatekeeping comes up as a topic, it's usually from people who have a huge following and have like what people say like it's just kind of weird that Maximilian has like a big follower count and he is like I guess he's trying to sympathize with like the new people, but like anybody anybody who really wants you genuinely to get into fighting games will let you know, look, you're going to get bodied, you're going to get taunted, it's going to happen. Like talking mess has always been a staple in video games. It's not.
I mean, as long as you're not doing that, as long as you're not being an absolute dick.
Yeah, it's like
And
like
when I mean that like pretty much like one time I fought a person. Well, no, I didn't fight a person, but I was just looking at a match and this dude was just shit talking. And when he shit talked the person, it's like, man, you playing like a retarded aborted fetus. I was like, bro, it
well yeah,
was like,
it's like video games is a
it's not
place.
that serious, man.
Video games is the one community where a bunch of rejects can create a hierarchy and become the class that reject people because they got rejected in an earlier time in their life. It's like
Yep.
you see it happen all the time. People It's like gatekeeping is actually from people who were once rejected. It's never really people who everybody says that are like I follow people all the time who just talk a mess, but they don't do anything to like cause. It's usually the only time they ever clap back at somebody is because they're the ones being like, ugh, like they see somebody say something stupid and it's just like, yeah, that's stupid. It's just
You're gatekeeping.
it's just weird because it's just like, look, nobody's forced. Like you have to have like I understand like there's a lot of people with low self esteem. It's I understand, but the thing is that I learned as somebody who had low self esteem in high school. It's like, look, you can let that get to you, or you can just be like, all right, and just go on about your day, because it's like, because gay when you say gatekeeping is an issue, you're basically letting them win. You're giving them that power. It's like you should be the one that's like, you know what, fine. I'm not
It's
like
like you're stopping people from getting into the game. It's like, well, a for a person who has that much time to do such things, that kind of says who the person is and what they're doing instead of it's like, ooh, only I can play this hobby. You can't.
there's rarely anybody who actually is like that, and usually nobody really associates with them. They become like, and it's just like,
I mean, there's a small minority that does, but it's extremely small. And then most of the time, that minority is just trying to get into the conversation. They don't care about the video games. They just want to talk. And if you don't talk, then that's what makes them mad. And but then when you scorn them for that, it's like you're messed up. It's like you're trying to gatekeep. Why are you taking this serious, bro? It's like, dude, you came to me. I was trying to play a video game, and you trying to have like some political philosophy conversation.
oh, you cut off.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, folks. Technical difficulties. Anyway, you were talking about somebody like people come to you, and then they try to get all like a political philosophy.
Yeah, it's like I try to have there'd be times where I try to have like play games and then they either inject politics in about real life or try to do it's the main thing of trying to front as though I am the cool guy and you need to listen to me about what I'm talking about and what I'm doing. And then when I just say I don't know who you are, and can we just play the game? You're messed up. It's like I don't know you,
Yeah,
and then after that and like any of your friends, they'll try to talk to you. It's like, oh, can you believe he said that? He's messed up. It's like, dude, you could have said that to my face, but instead of coming directly to me, you have to sidetrack me and go through my friends to deliver a message instead of just saying what you got to say. But that's the problem with the new generation of FGC. I mean, because everyone's behind the screen, no one wants to have a conversation anymore. And whenever you do have a conversation, then they'll act like they're the victims or some BS like that. And then when you meet them face to face, it's like, well, I didn't mean what I said. I got a little heated. Da, 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 da. It's like, shut up. It's like you think because you behind a computer screen, you can say and do whatever you want. But then when someone checks you in real life, feel sorry for me. I can't believe it happened this way.
yeah. It's weird because I know for a fact there's a lot of people like I can already tell. There's times where I'm like, okay, if that really did happen, it's just like I'm amazed because really,
Because a perfect example is like all those people who were trying to jump on low tier guy. I know without a doubt they wouldn't talk to him in real life. They would avoid them, and in fact, they'd be one of those people who's like, "Oh, yo, it's yo low tier god. Can I take a picture with you?" And then he either say yes or no, And then after that, they go back on social media, it's like, yeah, could you please load your God's an asshole? He did this, and I was like, yeah, you're that guy.
It's like there's so like especially if you go to conventions, it's hard to tell what actually happens and when it actually happened, if it actually happened, because we're only going by word of mouth and some again, it's just like I'm pretty sure I ruined somebody's day for some odd reason at a convention. I don't know why, maybe, but
Yeah,
it's just anytime I have a bad experience at a convention, I don't like I don't know. I'm just I rarely post anything on Twitter or on any like I rarely post. If I anything I do, I retweet, and it's mostly art or maybe something, an opinion I kind of agree with. But it's just weird how somebody could just be like, just. But my like this tweet is a good example. It's like it amazes me how like geek culture consists of people that are too afraid to order their pizza because they have to talk to somebody on the phone, but have the gall to write a call out post talking all this like shit they would never say to somebody's face. It's just like
well, who would be afraid to go get some food? So that you just outing yourself stuff is just being a dumbass.
I mean
I it don't matter. Well, no, let me rephrase myself. So here's the thing. Based off of what you just told me off of that tweet, I can't help but just call that guy a dumbass because who would be afraid to feed themselves some food?
hold on. What I mean is that look, what I got from the tweet is that there are people that say like will talk shit, like send a DM talking like mad, you know,
Mm,
spit like like calling you trash, doing all these things, but you like if you've met the way they just they it's like it's I'm talking about like in terms of look the nerd like a nerd culture has a weird uh like a lot it's this weird spectrum of where nerds are a bunch of rejects, but then they create a hierarchy of themselves to which they reject other nerds. And yet, like the thing we've been talking about now, the FGC doesn't really have like is just a community mixed of people. There's nobody in charge, but for some reason, people have created this like scenario in which the FGC is just made up a bunch of tools who like dude
they're
bros,
mean.
like
It's like
they're the jocks of the video game communities, and they're picking on us because we don't know how to block or dash cancel. Or it's like, what are you talking about?
dude, I'm not expecting you to dash counsel, but if you don't know how to block, that's it's like I have I can make fun of you for that.
It's
Like unless you got like did like you're disabled or something, then yes, I can laugh at you for that.
here's the thing. There's a lot of people who can't play video games, and in fact people make fun of journalists because despite the fact that they are paid to review games, they're terrible at them. And it's just like, how do their system is a mess. Why do they get somebody who doesn't even like the game to review the game and can't even play it properly? Like the Cuphead review is a prime example. Like the guy didn't even like Cuphead. He doesn't like anything about it or something. And yet he couldn't get past the tutorial stage.
But we talked about it before. Like you
Uh-oh.
shouldn't get a person who doesn't even care about the genre or well, yeah, just that. It'd be like me trying to. It's like, hey, do a Madden review. It's like,
But
I don't know what you expect me to say. I don't play Madden to be enthusiastic enough to give it a review.
yeah.
So
So and that begs the question, it's just like, why is it okay, like somewhere along the lines it's okay to make fun of journalists who are people to if they can't play, like if they were to play a fighting game and get bodied and criticize the game for being a bad game because there's no easy mode on tutorials. There's no easier way to do combos. Despite it's kind of weird that like fighting games have technically kind of been watered down a lot more than people think. People think that the games haven't been made harder, but when you add like DBZ Fighters is a prime example of what I've seen of people like having like a easy combo mode and just having like people complain about like people that play
Mindless
fighting.
mode.
Hmm?
I said mindless mode.
But like it had like these games have a lot more access than the older versions of them. Like Guilty Gear X, Double X, probably is a lot harder than XR'd. Um, Tekken.
But you know how it is. I mean, we had many discussions on this before. We can't have more access because that takes away from the art, like, of the game. It's just hard because it's hard, and if you make it any easier, you're ruining the experience. So it's like, well, okay, I guess you don't want more people to play your game then. Nah, I'm not losing sleep over it.
It's just I don't know.
I mean, I can have an opinion about it, but I'm not going to be sitting there. It's like, can you believe that this game doesn't have an easy mode? It's too hard, but I'm gonna play it because I want to be a gamer, and I don't want people to say anything about it. It's like, dude, we can do that, but you're not gonna like the conversation because
No,
you can say, and when I say you, I'm referring to the people that actually try to do these mental gymnastics to where they'll try to say, hey, because I play Dark Souls, I am a hardcore gamer and I am higher than everyone else because I played the Souls series. Is like, okay, okay, you did, but you didn't play Ninja Gaiden. You didn't play the original Ninja Gaiden or the remake series. You didn't play and beat Battletoads. You never beat any of the Contra games, Raid, Silver Gun, Bug Princess 2. I can go on about a bunch of other hard games outside of Dark Souls that you haven't played. So if you want to have that contest, we could do that. But what is that really doing for you? That's just proving that I look. I only play this one game. I don't play anything else except me. Uh, Hello.
I'm still here. I'm listening.
Oh, oh no, my phone went dark. I thought it went out again.
Yeah, no, but for me, okay. My thing is that I usually like to me when I hear people talk about gatekeeping, it's almost like when journalists are like, "Oh, I'm just trying to play this game. I'm trying to review it," and people are making fun of me because I'm not good at it. It's like, yeah, because it's just like we. It's but the
It's
thing
like
is
we're
that
not asking you to let me tell you about the folklore
no,
of this cardboard box. It went back to 1986 in
no,
the
but
Persian Gulf War. It's like, no, I'm not asking for
we
that. It's like, do you like playing RPGs like I do? Yes or no? No? Okay, if you don't like it, then you shouldn't be reviewing the game because why review something that you don't like?
and the thing is that it's not even like oh, it's not even the written articles. The ones that people criticize, oh, this guy sucks at the game, is the ones that have video footage and they are just awful. Like that Polygon's Doom review 2016. Um, when the guy's like shooting and he's not, it's like, are you even playing the game, man? You can tell when somebody's trying to play the game. Like it just like it's just so weird how like there are people that are handicapped who can't function properly who can play a game without having a problem. Maybe they have to alternate their controller. Maybe they have to have a custom controller. But I've seen so many paraplegics, like people with autism, like like
They played the game. Now, do we need more access for video games? Yes, more access is good. But if you just trying to hey guys, I noticed that everyone's talking about the video games, so I'm going to talk about the video games too, but we all know that you don't really care. You never did. You just want to be in the conversation, and that's what irritates a bunch of older people and new people alike. Like, because you have the people that actually want to get into the medium, find out more about what they're playing, and just get more into it. But then there you are, it's like, I never played the game, but let me watch this YouTube video. Yeah, I played the game. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I was shocked when this thing happened in the story, and
Yeah.
then when you actually look at the dude's trophy list, or you look at the dude's console, or what games he actually has, turns out that person doesn't have it at all, and they just been pretending that they play video games so they can stay in the conversation. It's like, I hate that.
Yeah. There are times where like um I've seen people that can't even play like their strongest game like they're not too good at this game, they're not too good at that, but then they body me in fighting games. It's like, "Oh, okay." It's like everybody's skill set is different. Video games have so many different genres. And it's just like fighting games has a very small window to get through, but if you're willing to commit to it, they will welcome you with open arms. I think the problem is that they're trying to get into it and trying to build a community off of it, trying to make a fan base out of themselves and get recognized and noticed, and it's kind of obvious. It's like,
Yep.
oh, your stream's not doing too good. Maybe because most people who are wanting to watch streams of fighting games usually you either have to have like an already built upon fan base or you had to be really good. Because I was like, I saw a VTuber playing a fighting game, and I was like, oh man, I was like kind of like, oh, but then they were like, I was like beginner level, and I'm like, oh, that's but then I remembered, oh, they're a VTuber, they're gonna get those views, so it doesn't matter. But like, if but that doesn't, but like trying to make yourself well known in the FGC, trying to make a name for you, that's not easy work. You're gonna get shat on. You're gonna get talked down to because it's just how, I mean, it happens. That's just the social norm. 9 times out of 10, there's gonna be somebody who doesn't like you and doesn't want you in their circle of friends. That's just reality. And the thing is that do you take that and let it ruin your day, or do you just go on
Or
about?
do you just, or yeah, you just go about, or you add to the fuel. It's like, you shouldn't play that game. You shouldn't play that character. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna keep playing that character. This character doesn't belong in the game. That's not gonna stop me from picking this character. You gonna get these hands.
I mean, I played Little Mac on Smash Brothers, and it's just like it's funny because like I was at a convention and I was playing as Ryu and Ganon, no Ryu and Little Mac, and sometimes I didn't win, but I would always be like the last person to die because it was just like, yeah, it's just people don't like play Little Mac, and it's just,
Speaking of Little like how far we got away from Nintendo.
oh yeah, we were gonna the main thing we were gonna talk about is Nintendo the Direct, but I just, for the closing statement on this topic, it's just like, look, if you really think gatekeeping is an issue, I don't think it's an issue that you think it is. I think the problem is you're seeing it happen. Like rejection is just a normal process of human interaction. You're gonna find some.
No, what it is about gatekeeping is they don't like a certain individual, and they want the person to be reprimanded. And by bringing it up as a topic issue, they hope that through proxy, whoever they see as doing it is going to be punished accordingly. And it's like, no, if that dude is talking mad trash to you and he's still going, unless he has some type of scandal, he ain't going nowhere, and he's gonna go right back to what he's doing. So just, oh, I'm gonna yell gatekeeping and hopefully he stops. It's like, no. If it were that easy, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just like, oh no, you're being bullied by a video game enthusiast.
Oh no, woe is me.
And
I can't take trash talk from nerds. My
even
feelings are so hurt. I can't believe that I have to deal with this. This is so hard. As an adult, I have so much responsibilities that I gotta pay attention to, but I'm wasting my time on this.
no, a 14-year-old bodied me. The gatekeeping communities. 14. I bet you that's what happens. It's like they get bullied, but
Yeah.
they're getting bullied by. Anyway, but like, see that right there. Somebody could take our conversation right now and call us gatekeepers, and it's just like, okay,
But that's the thing. I'm not stopping you from playing Smash, Mortal
yeah,
Kombat, or whatnot. You're gonna play, and if you go on balls to the walls, I'll give you respect. But if you getting bodied, then I'm gonna make fun of you.
and and the thing is, it's like I get bodied, but it's like, oh, okay, but I know my skill set. It's not like I'm like, it's just like
I mean, the
it's like,
only time I'll get mad is if someone's like talking like mad uber trash, and you know they ain't as good. It's like the try hard,
yeah,
you
and
know.
then you beat them once, and then they turn into like Jeffrey Dahmer, like looming in the corner. It's
It's
just
like, no,
like,
he ain't that good. He was never that good. It's like, well,
I mean,
for all that shit talking you sending my way, who did you just lose to? Me.
you lost to my wife, who's a Marth player who plays with the Wiimote. I remember that was
So who's the scrub?
yeah. Anyway, but yeah. Speaking of Marth and a Wiimote, Nintendo recently had a Treehouse Direct. Um, they announced a couple of things. I heard a lot of people said it was underwhelming, but the main catch from it was the newest Smash characters, shall I say? Because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 got the rep as Pyrrha and Mithra.
I am not mad,
I'm not
but
either.
at the same time, I don't care too much because when I look at the character, it's just classic Zelda, but right,
Yeah,
pretty much. And
I,
that's all I got for them. It's like I tried Xenoblade Chronicles X, hated it because of how hyped I was for it, and then come to find out it was a buggy mess that just did refuses to work on my Wii U, even if my Wii U is up to date. And then I see Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I was like, okay, I'll hop into Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's like, oh, frame rate dips. I can't do that.
it's just one of those games where I just couldn't get into it either.
Yeah.
I like that they got a lot of artists on it to
I mean,
work
I'm
on some
not
of the.
down. I'm not down them for having a good story. Like I want to get into it. It's just when I play Xenoblade, I don't want no weird engine problems.
Also, I think I need to play with the Japanese voices. I can't stand the English voices. I'm sorry, that's just a personal opinion.
Oh no, I get you because apparently all the smartest people in the universe came from Germany, and they have a Germany accent. It's like, come on, guys. It's like
Ah.
we it's like, what are you doing? It's like not every smart person has to sound like Einstein's.
Anyway,
It-
so no, yeah. Look, I got Sephiroth. I don't care. I'm good. I'm good. Sephiroth's actually
eh,
fun to play too. I actually like playing as him. It took a while to get used to, but I like playing him more than I like playing Cloud.
I like Sephiroth, but I still want my Tales of reputation.
Oh no, definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Despite
I
the
mean,
fact that Namco
at this
Bandai.
point, I wouldn't even care if it was Stan. At this point, give me a Tales of character. But yeah,
Oh no, they didn't. But like, it's kind of weird because a lot of people were upset, and I think the only thing you should be upset is that not even really. is that it's another sword character technically.
At this point, I don't care about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just saying,
It's
like,
like another sword character. I'm so angry that the man who's doing whatever he wants with his own video game is doing whatever he wants.
you want to hear
Who
a
would have thought that he did that?
you want to hear a low blow?
Uh,
I saw a tweet post. It's like, yeah, of course, Smash players are mad that Pyrrha and Mithra got in. They actually look like adults. It's just like, oh shit.
right.
It's like a lot of people that don't like are mad, or people that I guess are somehow anti-anime, but they love Smash. Well, they like playing as the platformers from the glory days. Like, why couldn't it have been
It's
Rayman?
like, why are you bringing anime into my game? Hey, newsflash. This game came from
Japan,
Japan,
where anime is
home
born.
of the anime that you hate. So, I
Yeah,
mean, I know that you don't like it's those type of people that just are they just hate Eastern culture as a whole.
yeah. Wait, hold on. You know
But
what? Fuck it. Um, Yeah, you know what? I'm all for gatekeep. I totally forgot. I forgot. I meant gate. I like gatekeeping because I forgot that for some reason, people that hate anime come into anime communities wanting to change the rules for everything, and it's just like, oh, they do like anime. It's all the flavors of the month though, and like seasonal animes that they don't even talk about after the show's done.
yeah,
And it's just like, oh my gosh, I think that was supposed to be the topic. I swear we had a topic that we were going to talk about, but when we brought up the topics, that storm hit, and I totally forgot about every topic I was going to talk about. So I think it's slowly coming back to me.
yeah,
Like I realize, you know what, gatekeeping isn't a bad thing, because I forget that there are people that try to snake their way into a community and try to make it their own thing, and
you
try,
can't
like,
watch this anime because I don't like this anime, and because I don't like this anime, no one can watch this anime.
you shouldn't
Tough shit for you. I'm gonna watch it.
shouldn't watch.
And the fact that you don't want me to wild watch it, I'm gonna wild watch it even more and more just to say fuck you
Yeah,
and go on with my business.
don't worry about, hey, don't watch redo of Healer. It's bad because of all this. It's like, how do you know? It's like, you were reading it, weren't you? It's like, okay,
Yeah,
it's like Boku no Pico.
it's like if you hated it, why did you look at it?
Like, you only know what those animes are about if you indulged in it. It's like, oh well, I didn't know. My friends recommended. It's like, okay,
Well, you don't have to listen to your friends all the time.
yeah. I mean,
I mean, for Christ's sakes, one of my friends is like one of those people who light novel, manga, light novel, whether light novel was better or he's that guy to where, hey, I seen this anime. Well, I read the manga. It's like, oh, sweet, you read the manga. Well, I read the light novel. It's like, okay. It's like, oh, you read the light novel? Well, I got an autograph from the person who made the franchise that I totally didn't spend $50
they
on.
always like, yeah, there's always gonna be somebody that one ups you and is like, oh, that's great. I really care. That's very interesting. It
Yep.
it's like, I read Redo a Healer. Mug's watching it, and so I'm not spoiling anything. But like, it doesn't matter how you indulge in it, and it's it's just so weird, and it's even like seeping into like the voice actors, and the English voice actors have really like uh basic opinions. Like, I think this
Wait,
is
it's getting an
bad.
English dub?
No, 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 no. I'm just saying, when translators, dubbers, for some reason, people that don't like anime are getting these jobs, and it's like they're wondering. And it's funny because they're on a sinking ship. It's been like, it's still floating, but it's like half of the crew is gone, died of scurvy. The boat's like slowly sinking, so somebody has to be the so pretty much anybody who's still on the ship has to keep the boat from staying afloat by getting a bucket and dumping it out onto the shore. Meanwhile, there's an island called fan subs that people have been using for years, and they're mad because everybody on that island is having a blast, because they don't really care about dubs enough to be like, oh, it's like I have favorite voice actors, and I appreciate the ones who do the work, but again, I'm not gonna defend the ones who are in the business that hates their job. Like they like, oh, I'm totally gonna go to bat for voice actress who hates anime. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like how is it's just a
It just
weird.
reminds me of the whole debacle with the Demon Slayer fan base to where there's like, oh, because I was like in my feed, like I got like a recommendation for this random dude, and I was like, they went too far and running the dudes out just because they tried to accuse him of injecting. It's like, well, dude, when that when a author writes a book a certain way, when you transfer it into another media, of course the people who watch the original source material are going to get mad at you because what you're trying to delude with your agenda has nothing to do with the vision of the manga author or slash light novel author. So why are you getting mad when the people who actually read the manga book and light novels jumping on you? It's like, wait a minute, that didn't happen in the book. This has nothing to do with the franchise. What are you doing? Stop it right now.
Yeah, it reminds
It's
me
like,
of
why are you getting mad? This
yeah,
isn't your
yeah.
franchise.
A good example I know of is
I mean,
Lupin the
it'd be
Third.
like trying to walk up to Stan Lee's face and just say, "How dare you make Marvel movies the way you do? You should do it this way." And you know what Stan Lee would do? He would just laugh in your face and just go on with his business.
But not even that. It's just like he doesn't work on the movies. But I was gonna say a prime example of. I mean, one example I can think of off the top of my head is like Lupin the Third, like Monkey Punch, the original manga author, and like it's just like people always like bring up the Ghibli movie of Lupin, but if you really think about it, like if you read the original mangas and everything, the Ghibli one is far from Lupin's character, but and so when I see um like there's the specials like Goemon's Blood Spray of Goemon and Jigen's Gravestone and the Fujiko Mine one, where those are more adult orientated. I know a lot. I've seen some people like, oh, this isn't like Lupin's. Like, yes, it is. Yeah, no, Lupin's always been like this, like adult themed thing. It's not a show for like kids. It's not lighthearted like in the Ghibli movie. Um,
Yeah.
it's Loop.
But again, going back to what I said, there's a minority of people to where they don't like Eastern. Well, yeah, they just don't like the Eastern culture at all. So it don't matter if it's video games, anime. They're always there. It's like, why are people? Why? It's like I hate it, but people love it. Why won't these people stop? It's like they need to start hating it like I do. But then when they don't do that, then that makes them baby rage, and then they keep doing it. And then when that doesn't work, they start to do like covert methods, like now, like say for instance, okay, we know it's like growing up, we kept telling these people that anime and video games are trash, but they still did it, and even though they're grown adults, they're successfully making it, and I can't make them stop. So since this is obviously not working, I'm gonna try to be them and join them and destroy it from within inside. Well, no, that's not working because they're still kicking me back out. So now I'm just gonna try to do all these other methods just to make them stop and join the Eastern culture. And sad day for them, it's not gonna happen. There's
Yeah,
always gonna be a person that likes anime. Well, full stop.
and it's just like, and another thing is that the people like, oh, it's like, why isn't this like? People think that it's just I don't know.
Or my favorite is whenever they try to say cartoons are for kids. This is too adult oriented. It's like Eastern cartoons aren't Western cartoons. I don't know why is it so hard to get it through your thick skull. I use your head meat. But then even then with Western cartoons, some Western cartoons aren't for kids either. But you don't hear people gouging out Family Guy for it's like, oh my God, they made a sex joke. Can you believe it? It's like, oh, look at South Park. They did this. It's like, but no. It's like they can be funny and they can talk about adult subject matter all day, but anime can't do that.
I don't know. It's weird, and it's like I can't watch. Like I don't honestly. I don't really talk to about what I'm watching other than you, because it's just like even like I can't like my wife has certain tastes. She won't watch certain shows with me, but that's fine because we're not like it's okay to not be on the exact same wavelength of things. It's like I can like random example because right now I'm not really watching any anime, but like I've been trying to get in like to watch the Sopranos because I never got to watch that series growing up, and now I have HBO Max and I'm watching it, but she doesn't watch it, and it's just like I just want to like when it comes to movies and every like all the Western films, I'm all for the like the really deep and characters and driven story. Like I'm like like all this stuff. I can't even watch any Marvel movies. I used to be like I couldn't watch anything other than a Marvel movie because there was nothing
I'm burnt
interesting.
out of Marvel right about now.
Huh?
It's like I'm burnt out when it comes to
No,
Marvel
yeah, I am
movies
too.
and
I'm just saying
shows and
like
all
because
that. It's like, eh. I was like, I like it, but I need a breather.
I used to be like, oh man, there's nothing else to watch. I'll just put on like Infinity War or like something. But now I'm like, you know what? I want to watch a 3 hour Martin Scorsese film. Like, but like, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
It's just like the West
then we'll
has
watch an Ed Wood video or something.
the funny thing is that in terms of like when it comes to animation, the Japan just has this beat. Just like admit that. Like, it's fine. It's fine. You could still watch your Western cartoons, but a lot of them are just really boring, dull, and they play it safe
I can
because
only look at Noodle Arms so long.
and majority of the times they're Cartoon Network shows that don't appeal to a wide like that are just trying to go for a younger crowd. But ironically, it's the older crowd that are watching it, like 35-year-olds and older. And it's just like there's nothing wrong with being an adult watching cartoons or anime or anything, but
No,
wait,
it's like
hold on.
cartoons are for kids.
No, let me say this: if you're going to be an adult who is watching a children's show or an adult cartoon, act like an adult. I've seen more
Mhm.
adults like I've seen adults act like my son is like gonna be 2 this year, and I've seen children act. I mean, adults act worse than him, and he's in diapers. Like it's just like, oh my gosh, all these people like complaining about like we're complaining too, but like it's one thing to
But we're
have.
complaining about the fact that
There are
even
people
though you don't have to watch something that you don't like, you're still forcing yourself to do so,
because there are
and then you're
people,
coming back to us and complaining about it. That's what makes me mad.
yeah, because like Mug is a FGC vet. He may talk mess. He may have his strong opinions about Max, but he still enjoys playing fighting games. Even if like let's say like I think Mug if I let him he can go on for hours about Maximilian, and I just be like, yep, okay, but it's not like he doesn't enjoy fighting games. He's like if like Mug will continue to play fighting games regardless of any specific person, and that's really what matters. Like somebody can be like, man, I met Mug once and he just sucks at fighting games. Is that going to stop Mug from playing forever? Probably not. I don't even think that'll fly under his radar. And there's that. But what I'm saying is that there are people like I've seen on social media. It's like it's not really like Twitter is not really meant for like there's no actual thing you could do that you could interact with like like at least in Reddit there's like subreddits that you can get and you can join people. Discord, you can make your own server and you can interact with people. Like there's no interaction. All Twitter is somebody saying something and getting likes, and they'll say anything that's controversial or something that like gatekeeping was never like it was a thing, but it wasn't a big enough controversy for people to make a whole big deal out of it. But controversy breeds well on Twitter and Instagram, so that's what people do. And it's just like, do you guys like anything? Because at this point, like I've seen more people complain about the gatekeepers more than they actually what they've enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was this one guy. It's just like a guy I follow. It's like, dude, you don't like you always talk about like, oh, I don't remember. He said the one guy he said go back to Mugen, lol, and it's like, how is that an insult? How is telling somebody to go back to Mugen an insult? It's like, what fighting game do you play, dude? You don't ever talk about fighting games. All you ever do is just like talk shit, and anybody calls you out, you're like, ooh, like get out of here. Like, it's like, read a book, go outside. Like, if gatekeeping is the worst thing that's ever happened to you in your community, go outside. Like,
Watch you some TV.
like
But when you watch some TV, don't watch with the just cut off your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook. Just cut all that off, or better yet, just get away from the computer. Put your phone like at the corner of the house, and just enjoy whatever you enjoy. Why is it so hard?
I just it's especially with anime. It's just like anime. Like it. Let's be real here.
Because I know whenever I watch anime, instead of me looking at, oh well, what's everyone saying about the latest episode of this? It's like, no. Well, it's like I cut my phone off. I lock the door, and I'm like get my premium headphones and watch whatever I want to watch and have a good time watching it.
because like most people
And
that like
it's like everything else comes like later. Like, oh, what did you think about episode 2 or 3? And just read then. But other than that, if it's like right there and then, no, just take out the social media and just enjoy what you enjoy.
like that I just see so many people just trying to be like, oh, these weren't actual the real fans. These were the real fans the whole time. It was like source, dude. Trust me. I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
it's like oh like it's like look I like Cowboy Bebop's atmosphere and everything like that, but I feel like the reason why I bring it up is because that's like the go-to anime when somebody's like, oh, anime's not the same anymore. It's like, all right, what's good anime? Cowboy Bebop. uh, okay, is that it? Like, because what it baffles me. It's like, is that really your only like favorite one that you can go back to over and over again? You won't get tired of it? Like,
I know Hayate the Combat Butler, Still Angel Kurumi,
I mean,
Kikaider, Cyborg 007, like big old Ronin Warriors,
like my
my daughter 20 Faces. I can go on.
my in-laws told like here's a good example of like a thing where I'm like, huh, that's kind of
Hell, Escaflowne.
no, oh, wait, hold on. I recommended I'm only gonna say it from the it's something Valkyrie. I just call it Records of Ragnarok. That's the one where humans are fighting against gods. It's as generic as it sounds. It's very basic, but it's awesome and the art style is amazing. It's a really good series and a lot of people like it. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, what I'm saying is it's a really good series. Um, but it's like I recommended it to people, and I kind of haven't heard anything from them. But then it's just like then it's like, oh, watch Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm like, I just I don't care if it's
No.
good. I just don't. It's one of those like I don't want to watch it now. You know,
It's like I watch it when I want to watch it, not when you want to watch it.
it's just like
Like it's one thing if you describing it to me, I was like, this does sound interesting, and then I give it a watch. That's one thing. But if it's like you're telling me what it is, okay, okay,
it's like oh the fight
okay,
scene.
yeah,
Like it's like the
uh-huh.
fight scenes are good. I'm like
And if
okay.
I'm like just going, yeah, it's like I'm considering it, but not really. But then if you continue, you gotta do this. You gotta do this. And it's like,
Meanwhile, it's
mm,
like hey, want to watch an isekai where a dude gets reincarnates into the same world, but instead he uses his healing abilities to get revenge? Huh?
yeah, I'm down for that.
Like sometimes you just need a series that I don't know what happened. Whatever happened to just like I understand like there are some series where I'm like I can't turn some series I can't turn my brain off to enjoy it. There are some that I can turn my brain off to enjoy. That's just that's just how it is. That's just how people are. I know a lot of people like prime example, Mugs like Sword Art Online. And somewhere along the line, that like liking Sword Art Online was like the worst thing ever because it was popular.
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to sort of, I done heard everything. But you can say whatever you want. I'm still gonna watch it, and I'm still gonna enjoy it. It's like, well, it's like tell me whatever you want, and I could just look at your anime and find something wrong with it. Because I've seen it plenty of times, whether it be from Log Horizon fans, Attack on Titan fans, you name it. I've come across every fan that will say, "Oh well, I don't like Sword Art Online line because of this." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, what do you watch?" Well, I like this. It's like, so let me get this straight. You don't mind when your show is doing something that you deem as obscene and wrong, but it's wrong for me to enjoy said show because you don't like it.
Yeah. It's always with anime too. It's just it's always
Because I remember this dude try to say, "Oh no, you said you shouldn't be watching Sword Art because it has incest in," and I'm like, "When did this happen?" Well, between Kirito and his sister. Okay, stop. I'm gonna ask you this question again. When did Kirigayo Kazuto have sexual intercourse with his sister?
in the light
When did
novel.
this happen?
In the light novel, it said that it's like
On what chapter? On what
no no.
page? Because I read that shit too.
It's
So
it's they what they
it's
really
like
meant
if you
was
ain't talking
the
about
dojin they
Kirito and
found on
Asuda, what are you talking about?
the dojin on in hentai. But like
So
it's like but like it's not even again it's not real. Like even if like even if that did happen, it's just like okay. It's like I don't know, man. Just like skip it. Don't watch it. Stop. But don't tell me not. Don't tell me to stop. I'm already gotten this far. Imagine no, don't watch Tanya Saga Tanya the Evil. It's about like this guy who reincarnates into a lolly. It's like okay, what is that? Does anything bad happen? No, but it's like all right. Is the fact that it's just a little girl? Because I I don't know. Like,
oh no, a little girl is flying in the sky and mowing down everything with an AK-47. The world is coming to an end.
no. Okay, you would if we had gun nuts who are anime fans. They'd shoot you down because saying AK-47. That like come on, that's World War I.
So,
It's World War I
but that's how
weaponry.
much I don't care.
Yeah, but
It's like the only thing I need to know is gun hurts. And that's all I need to know. Gun hurts, bang hurts, and I like seeing people go bang.
it's just
It's like,
it's
yeah, monkey brain, but that's how it is when it comes to entertainment and getting out of reality.
yeah, and it's just like not everything has to be like this lucky go-hearted adventure. I've honestly, most of the most depressing things I've ever watched were like Western movies. Like not cowboy West, I mean like movies from the West, sorry. Like a lot of people like this is why you should never use Instagram. Instagram is the worst place to like find anime fans and communities because they're all like very generic, like animes that made you cry, and it's like your name, all the like the generic animated movies, which they're not bad. It's just like, come on, like, can we talk about anything else except?
Can we have like a fun conversation? Let's talk about Club to Death Dokuro trying about this angel just beating the shit out of a
No,
dude
that's too old now.
with a
Everybody,
mace.
look, dude, you got to understand. People that use Instagram are like Gen Z. They're like 14-year-olds. That they
Oh, so what's the show that one where that mermaid's always getting chopped up? Let's talk about that one.
I don't even know.
But 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 you get what I'm saying. It's like it don't matter what generation you are. Let's talk about something fun. Because if I wanted to talk about politics, I would talk about politics.
No, actually, politics influence everything, and if you aren't into politics, then you're part of the problem.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like I talked to my senator. I try to get them to pass legislation. What the hell are you doing besides complaining about pink-haired college women or well whatever?
Orange man bad, but now he's not the president anymore. Oh well, it's like
Orange man bad. Russia.
yes. Oh, but like the thing is like I understand that a lot of stuff has somewhat political influences in it, but it's never like because really
But that's not
all it
the
boils
focus
down
of the
to
show.
yeah, but like what it boils down to
It's
is
like
like
when I'm watching the new Inuyasha, like the new Inuyasha ain't talking about transgendered people or different bathrooms or whatever the hot topic is of the month of the week. It's just, hey, here's the daughters of Inuyasha and Sesshomaru. Have fun. Thank you.
it's
Oh, here's
like
what Marco's doing.
Final Fantasy
Okay,
Seven.
cool.
Final Fantasy Seven is about eco terrorists. That's like the first. That's in Midgar. After that, it's a whole different game.
Yeah, let's save the world.
It's
But it ain't about oh, it's like Cloud is emboldening the
uh,
transgender community. It's like
not even
no,
no.
Cloud wanted to
It's no.
save
The hot
Tifa
topic
by
is
cross dressing. You thinking too hard.
the hot topic is capitalism bad. It's like oh yeah, it has flaws, but like I still think the free market should exist in a sense. Like jeez,
It's a GameStop.
it's like it's like everyone's like, oh well, Metal Gear Solid's political. Yeah, but it's not 15 hours of Kojima saying you should not vote for President Trump. He is a bad man. It's more along the lines of making you think of like this whole
Oh
like
yeah,
a
this
what
stuff
if
was going on in the
scenario.
bad background. It's like yeah, that was going on in the background. But we should talk about that.
Metal Gear Solid
But
2 was
it's
about like it doesn't matter if you don't have a legacy to pass on. It was supposed to be a send off for the series. It's like, hey, it's okay that you didn't get to play as Snake again, but it's fine. It's like it had a whole deeper meaning to it outside of like, you're
Snake was
Otacon. If you
helping
don't vote
you.
for the Democratic Party, then you're part of the problem.
I mean, Snake was helping you the whole game, so I don't know what was the problem.
No, I mean like it's a send off. It's kind of a thing because Kojima at around that time was already kind of moving on from Metal Gear Solid, but he kept getting put back in because it was a popular franchise. Due to popular demand, he did it, and Metal Gear Solid 4 was like the goodbye until 5 came out.
And then they whipped him to death until it's like I cannot do this anymore.
And then he made but yeah, and it's just like
And then he made a walking simulator, but yeah.
and it's just like
Kojima.
it's everybody thinks like all right, what was like what was like the political deep meaning in Ocarina of Time?
At that point, I would just say you thinking too hard.
Yeah, because like then it goes straight along the line of like the
It's like
goal.
you want to talk about politics, and I don't want to talk about politics. I want to play video games and
It's
watch
because they
anime
spent
to
their
get
entire college
away.
tuition on it.
Hmm?
If you spent 2,000, if you spent over $1,000 on your classes, of course you'd want to be talking about it. You spent your whole life in a school system that pretty much drained you, and instead of doing anything about it, you bared with it. And look, did it get you the job you wanted? No. So you're gonna blame it on everybody else. I'm not saying like if you went to
Dude,
college.
even then when I wrote the English paper about Nobuo Uematsu, that that it wasn't no. Can you believe that he did this? It's like no. Teacher said write about your favorite musician. I went along with that and just had a
It's
good
like,
time.
yes, we know
But
that
that's the key word, good
yes,
time.
we do know that the Japanese were once allied with the Axis power. I'm still going to watch the new season of Ray Zero.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I always found, didn't you always find that weird when people wanted to bring up like I'm not, you don't, nobody defends like what Japan did. I mean, to be fair,
No, we dropped a nuke on them for a
yeah,
reason.
yeah. So it's kind of like we kind if for us as speaking for America, it's like we kind of evened it out, evened the playing field. So we can't really say, oh, you're gonna excuse a war crime. Yeah, because we didn't excuse it. Uh, Pearl Harbor was like a prime example of no, we're not forgiving them. But we already made our point. But we also know that war is kind of bad. So it's kind of weird how people are still playing like these cards, like, oh, this country did this, and you're defending them. It's like, well, yeah,
No, no country's a saint.
yeah, no, of course not.
I mean, choose like pick a place, and there's bound to be some skeletons buried underneath somewhere.
Japan,
It's like whether you're in the mountains or the desert.
I mean, Germany invaded Poland, Japan invaded China, and South Korea created K-pop. I mean, there's a lot of war crimes out there that it's unforgivable, but we just let it go on about their days.
Yep.
Um, I don't know. It's just it's just weird because it's just like it's
I
always
can't wait to Noble Heroes 3 come out.
yeah.
That's gonna be a good stress reliever.
And it's funny because Killer, you know what's funny? Um, one of my favorite games is actually heavily influenced by politics. Killer 7, and it is a Suda51 game. But that one flies over people's radar. But
Hmm.
it's just like, because everybody always plays it safe. Look, oh, Metal Gear's political. It's like, all right, what was political about Mario? It's like, and then, but like
Yep.
they'll give you an answer. But it's the biggest. It's like their biggest ass pull. It's like, well, you see, Bowser represents, like, it's like, it's like,
He represents the empire and crony capitalism. I was like, yeah, that's the
yeah,
first thing I thought when he threw that Koopa shell at me. All right, back to
cap.
playing Mario Kart.
Yes, capitalism is the reason why your YouTube videos aren't making any revenue. Moving on. It
Yeah.
it's like, because like that's it's manipulative. It's when you tell people, oh, you need to be involved into it, because it's like I don't need to be involved in it 24/7. I mean, that's literally what politicians are for, and that's literally where my tax dollars are going towards. I will vote. I will, I'll play the game, but if I don't do that shit 24/7, I'm gonna. Otherwise,
Yeah, because if you do it 24/7, you lose your brain.
we'd be no, you'd be a politician,
Hmm.
or you'd be a crazy person that tries to run a campaign on Twitter and convince people that the government is going to use moon rocks to attack foreign nations.
With the exploding lemons. uh,
But it's funny. It's like because Minimo doesn't use social media as far as I know, like Twitter or anything. I only use it really to follow like artists. But sometimes, like some artists, I'm like, 2016 really messed up people, and it kind of was like this event horizon where you either are somebody who is like I don't really care for politics, or you're like gung ho about it any chance you get, so you don't look like you know some weirdo. It's like oh yes, everything's political. Please don't shun me. I need clout. I need validation. It's like all right. It's
Yep.
it's a really weird thing. It's just like yes, um,
But on another bright note, Ninja Gaiden is also coming to PC, and I'm hyped for that.
okay, this is my first time hearing it. Cause see, this is what I'm talking about. It's like I don't
Because
follow
it's not only is it coming out for the Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox, but it's coming to Steam.
the
So,
entire trilogy.
yep, Six Sigma 1, Sigma 2, and Razor's Edge, the
What
de
about
facto
Black?
bed. Hmm?
What about Black?
That's what Sigma is, an enhanced port of Black.
Oh, it's I always feel like it's weird because like I never got to play Black because of the X because it was on the Xbox, and I never knew anybody who had it. And I was like, oh, from the looks, it kind of looks like Sigma. Again, this was years, but like, I always forget that it is. But I always kind of wanted to experience Xbox original Black. Like how like some people
It's
like,
just meant to try to show the power of Xbox how it was back then, but then after that they redid it
oh,
again.
hopefully, you know what? Hopefully, this could spawn more. I don't know. Like
Because the only major complaint that I hear stemming from Ninja Gaiden is the fact that they don't like Ayame's face in Sigma.
what does that have to do with anything?
But I'm not really seeing it. But I'm happy that at least it's coming to Steam. So now they can finally shut up about that and just mod the face. And it's like there, they're happy. Her face is done.
I mean, they're gonna mod
No,
more
no,
than
no
just the
more.
face.
Just get the face in, because that's the only complaint I keep hearing about the franchise. It's like all the other stuff about Ninja Gaiden Sigma was amazing. The mechanical
I think
ink
the other
like updates and whatnot,
man. Oh
like
man.
more weapons. You can play as extra characters.
Stop. Stop. Stop.
This is like because
My
you
heart
want to
can't
play it,
take
don't
this. Yes, dude, I've been like when Neo 2 came out, I'm like, oh man, this looks so much like. It just makes me want to play Ninja Gaiden. It's like
Yep.
fine, like, ah man, I was excited for No More Heroes 3, but Ninja Gaiden, like, I played Devil May Cry. I love Devil May Cry, but I've always been like I like action games, but there's something about Ninja Gaiden that it's its own beast that you just have like you can't get that experience from playing Bayonetta or Devil May Cry.
I'm gonna run through the series when it comes out again. I don't care. It's because I already beat it on PlayStation 3, and then I beat 2 on 360, and
Hot
then I beat it again on the Vita.
hot
It's
take.
like
I like 3, but I only like the Razor's Edge version.
I don't blame you on that one because I played Vanilla 3 and
Oh my gosh, I played the
and
Vanilla 3 of
then
demo. Like they play. It's weird because like a lot of them, their favorite, like the people who worked on Ninja Gaiden, like their like favorite games were like Modern Warfare or Angry Birds. It's just like Japan subtly has been influenced by Western development because like Yakuza has a lot of scenes where you walk to a destination, like even though it doesn't need to be, like it could have just been a cutscene, like if you really wanted it to be, but no, they got to make your character walk and limit it towards where you need to go until the game actually lets you go somewhere. And it's just like, oh my gosh. It's just like I remember people be like, "Oh man, Japanese games don't have it," but now we kind of got to that point. Mostly in like Yakuza games is the ones that do that. Is very notorious for doing that. But Ninja Gaiden 3, the original one, had quick time events, had
Yeah, that
those
was
weird
like, ugh.
cutscenes. But Razor's Edge, it takes away a lot of that, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a totally different game. There was that weird.
Yeah,
There was also that infamous scene where Ryu is walking towards a guy that gave up. He's like, please don't kill
and he
me.
just chopping them in half, and I
And
was
he's
like,
like, you're
dang.
not human. It's like that. Like it was cut out in Razor's Edge. I was like, oh my gosh. When I played that in the demo, I was like,
But
that's.
that just shows how far Ryu has caved throughout the years. It's just like,
But
I don't
no,
care.
but that's
I got a job to do.
yeah. But it doesn't. It's like wait, he chops other people in halves and two. Yeah, but it's kind of weird when you make some. It's like it's almost like The Last of Us 2. It just feels
But
weird
three
when
was
in
more of questioning Ryu because it's like, all right, you've been doing this for a long
yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah. I know that. Like in the when you play, even if you play Razor's Edge, it's still that story is kind of there because the main villain's like, because that's the thing. Ryu's arm is cursed, and like the little girl is like scared of him, and she sees him cut down her dad, and she becomes like the apocalypse bringer. And yeah, 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 yeah. But man, it's just like I think the hardest.
It ain't no spoiler. It was Ninja saves the day by killing demons.
Nah,
There,
yeah.
I spoiled the whole entire Ninja Gaiden franchise for you.
You know what's funny? I when I played Sigma 2 for the first when I beat it, I didn't know when you save the girl from the cage, if you point your bow at her and you shoot her, it's automatic game over.
Yep.
Like I was like, and it made me restart. And I'm like, oh, okay, just yeah, but
Yeah, don't be an ass.
no, yeah, yeah, of course, but no, like honestly, Ninja Gaiden's not really that hard. It's just everything's fast paced.
I mean,
Um,
you can make it hard
no,
if
yeah,
you
yeah,
hate
yeah, I
yourself.
know, I know, but what I'm saying is that like Dark Souls is very slow and it's only hard if you're not like being aware of it's recognizing a patterns and everything like that. Ninja
Oh, it's
Gaiden
only hard when you don't have common sense.
Ninja Gaiden's more like reflexes and cuz like the combo system's not that deep. It's not like Bayonetta where it has specific combos and pausing during your thing where you can dodge roll into a
I
combo
mean, you
like
just level up your sword, and then your sword has new abilities.
and you
Simple as
just
that.
hold down the triangle button and charge and let an enemy come near you, and then ching 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 slash slash, and you get some health off. I mean, the bosses are pretty difficult, but I mean, it's like you just gotta know your move set.
Know your move set, and just be properly prepared to have some potions on hand.
I mean, compared to Black, like, because I mean, they streamlining something to make it more accessible is fine. It's okay. Like people say, oh, it's a lot easier. It's like yeah, but
But
compared
the
to
thing is, the easy that they're talking about is, again, like I told you before, if you getting wiped, then the game will automatically kick you into easy mode. So I don't know why would you get mad. It's like, oh, they have an easy mode. It's like it's too easy. Well, it's like you don't talk about how you get easy mode because when you start the game, there is no you don't just choose easy. You just start.
yeah,
So yeah, the fact that you complain is like you complaining about a mode that you have to suck to get kicked into. That shows that you haven't really played the game. You're just, oh, I seen this one thing through a video or a capture, so I'm gonna pretend to be outraged at it.
you know
Look at
what?
me as a gamer.
I'd be. I think Ryu is the only character that I wouldn't mind him being in Smash.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind either.
Like, cause
Cause I
I don't.
cause the main thing I want to do is just do suicide and Zuna drops all day. It don't
Oh,
matter if
that'd
I
be
lose
so
the
cool.
match.
Like that, it's like Ganon's like side throw off the edge. Like it's just an
But
Azuna
then you
drop
just see
into
him
a
go like,
game. I could see. Oh man, I could see it happening. And his final smash would
it's like
be
you going with me.
his ninjutsu. Obviously, he would have a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Like he can if when he dodges, he can throw shurikens during it. Kind of, I don't know. Like, I could see it.
I just want one to Zoo to drop all day. And that's all.
Yeah, that'd be. Because like I know people
Like,
say Dante,
I
but like
say, because they be play people say like, oh, it's like, oh, high tier player. I'm well. Let me pick reuse like because you know what I'm gonna do. Oh, what's that? I got two extra stocks, and you only got the one stock. Oh, come here, come near this edge.
yeah, I, but overall like oh man, this podcast has been kind of all over the place. But oh yeah, oh I think the closing thing was we were gonna talk about the bring up the Pokemon thing, but I'm not interested enough in Pokemon to even like bring it up. It's just a lot of Pokemon
Eh,
fans are mad that they got something that they wanted, but not the way they wanted it. So now we gotta listen to it. Just even though
well,
Star
at
Fox
first
hasn't
I
gotten
was
a new game,
mad at the Diamond and Pearl thing, but then I seen before the podcast started, they actually showed the trailer of an open world Pokemon. I was like, okay, that works.
yeah, but
I'm no longer
people,
mad.
I can't, I don't, I still have to be mad. Otherwise, I lose an argument that I made up in my mind.
I mean, it would have been something if it was just, hey, we're giving you Diamond and Pearl again, guys. Yeah, if it was just that, then I would have been mad too. But the fact that they have an open world Pokemon game,
Yeah, it's not
an
like
actual open world Pokemon game, to not to where like I'm gonna run across this blade of grass. I want to fight you to a Pokemon battle. It's like no,
yeah. I mean, Sakurai said
it's
that.
Breath of the Wild as to where you're just walking around. There's some Pokemon here and there. You might you might find ooh
Yeah.
shoot. Hold on.
Well, I'll go ahead of what I was saying.
No, you good. It's like I got like
I was gonna say, Sakurai said that it's gonna be impossible. It would be impossible for the Kid Icarus Uprising to get a Switch port for whatever reason. So Kid Icarus fans are screwed into getting another game for God knows when. F-Zero fans are never going to get a game because they literally do not know what to do with the franchise. Metroid's fourth game was never going to come out, and by the time it does, anybody who had general interest in it probably going to move on to something because usually 9 times
yeah,
out
that
of
was my brother
10,
calling and whatnot, but yeah.
like, and No More Heroes 3 probably will get a PC release. So I mean, I'll probably get it on the Switch, but I waited for No More Heroes. No More Heroes is actually coming to PC as well. It's going to
Is
be
it?
exclusive on a streaming game service. I don't remember. Suda51 retweeted it, but the fact that it's going to get a
Good
PC,
on him for getting his game out.
yeah. So the No More Heroes franchise will get on PC. So, but if I think I will get it on the Switch because I really do want to play it. I didn't get to play Travis Strikes again on the Switch.
I'm
I
just
did get
happy
it on the
that the
PC.
poor ports you don't have to use motion controls anymore. You can just button,
Yeah, and they're not charging you.
button.
It's. I mean, I wish I was gonna make a joke. It's like not charging you, but it is gonna charge you $60 because it's a full price game. Because Skyward Sword is getting another HD release for the Switch, and it's gonna be sixty
Which I'm
dollars.
not paying for. Hell, I won't even bootleg the shit because I already got the original copy on the Wii. It's like I played it once on the Wii, beat the game, and even with them having regular controls, I don't know. Skyward Sword is just one of those rare Zeldas that I just don't want to come back to, kind of like Zelda 2.
No, I no, that's understandable. I just wish that Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. I'm kind of glad. Like, I'm not like a huge Nintendo fan. I like Nintendo's games, but most of the time, I'm starting to realize most of the Nintendo games I liked were third party. They weren't even developed by Nintendo. Like Nintendo just like we got a Splatoon 3 though. We got that announced. Like I find that so weird. Like I guess it's easy to make a game, but really Nintendo doesn't want to be those companies that expand their games. But I would be less offended if Splatoon was just one game that they expanded upon, like similar to like a Blizzard's expansions. Like it's just Splatoon 2 is just more story maps and a whole new expand. It
You
just
know, I wouldn't mind if they would have just took AM2R and just ported it, and made it like legal for everything. Well, not for everything, but like
I
the
mean, we know
Nintendo
why they did
ecosystem.
it. They're doing it like that. It's because they want more money. Because expansion would be like $40, so they want to charge you $60 for a game that's pretty much the same. Only the only difference is that they're dropping support of the older game. It's like, so Splatoon 1 was like this perfect. Uh, to me, it was perfect in terms of that. It wasn't like the best game in the world. I just mean in terms of what that game was. It was the perfect blend. Like gyroscoping was optional. I'm so glad they made that a thing. I know it's like, but original Splatoon 1 was like, I don't know. It was just like this peaceful thing. I didn't like, but it's 2. I'm like, like I see people playing it. I'm like, that's baby mode. It's like, this looks, because nobody with, it's just Splatoon 1 ranked match in A League changes a man.
Yeah, but maybe we should wrap up though.
Yeah, we need to wrap it up, obviously. Anyway, Nintendo Direct's Treehouse was lame. The only few things that were announced were good, weren't even Nintendo games. Gatekeeping is only bad if you're being the one gatekeeping. And 90% of times it's people by people that don't affect your life in any form whatsoever.
Or whoever's trying to gatekeep actually doesn't care about the franchise or what you're into. They just want they just on that hidden agenda to make people stop playing in hopes that maybe if I pretend that I'm them and I say that it sucks from within, maybe they'll stop. It's like no, people are gonna enjoy it whether you like it or not. There's always
Yeah,
going to be a person who's watching
and then there's
anime.
going to be a bunch of articles about Ninja Gaiden being too hard, and despite the fact that the game came out years ago, and the cycle and the legend continues, and we're still going to be playing the games. But all right, don't know when the next episode will be. I'll discuss it. We'll discuss it off air. But I think, is there anything you need to say before we go?
Nah, I'm good.
All
I
right,
gotta go get
everybody.
me something to
I know
drink.
we kind of got a little ranty on this one, but to be fair, it's just like it just keeps going and just
You'd
it's
think they would stop, but then it's like, no, I just want to enjoy my stuff.
all right. But anyway, as usual, I'm your host Ed Tama23,
And I'm a mug.
and we'll catch y'all later. Have a good night. Take care.